You are listening to the Omar the Barbarian Podcast.
We are the top guys!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Top Guys Podcast. We're doing something a little different on today's show. We're doing our very first interview, and we couldn't be happier that he chose to be our first guest. A young freelance writer and budding artiste, he's quickly become one of the comics medium's greatest advocates through his Instagram page, @Goins Comics, growing it to 40,000 and counting in just a little over a year. There, he speaks life into the contributions of comics creators reaching back to golden and silver age masters such as Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko to today's modern masters, the likes of Dan Mora and Daniel Warren Johnson. His work has garnered praise throughout the comics, ranging from esteemed creators such as Chris Samnee, Tula Lotay, Alex Ross, and more. The Top Guys are proud to welcome Noah Goins to the podcast. Noah, it's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome.
What an intro. I don't think I've ever done anything like that. So thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thought I'd start out with the first question that I can throw at you. What was your first experience with the comics medium?
Oh, man. I mean, just like most of us, it dates back to, as far as you could remember. I feel like that's the most standard answer. But I remember just always, as we were talking earlier about Spider-Man, always loving Spider-Man. And whether that came from Tobey Maguire's, his debut, I guess I should say, as Spider-Man, that led me to the comic shops. I wanted to see more, what was going on with this character. I knew it was based on, the comic books, from all the behind the scenes stuff on the DVDs. I mean, I would just religiously watch those. And there was a comic shop close to my grandmother's house. And I remember going in there and just asking the guy for Spider-Man stuff. And he pointed me in the right direction. And so he created a bit of a monster there.
So what was the first comic that you can remember picking up?
The one I can remember picking up vividly at the shop was an Amanda Conner Marvel Adventures cover, and it was with the Lizard. I remember just wanting to read the Lizard, and that one stood out to me the most. But there was also these Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man team-up books, very child-centered type of covers. And I think shortly after, one that really stuck out was Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, which is a leap in terms of maturity.
Right.
Those three
big jump.
Yeah, really yeah.
Yeah, that's like going from I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog to Preacher. It's
right.
Boom.
Yeah, definitely. But that's in my memory for sure. That'll never go away.
Yeah.
I now want to see Glenn Fabry drawing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be sick.
Hey, why not? So, next question. What pushed you to create a space to speak on your love of comics artistry?
Just genuinely loving it. And I think also looking at the space, and if there's other creators out there, please let me know who they are. But I remember writing my own comics for years and really just wanting to understand the process of what goes into it. And when I would go on social media in lots of these places, especially TikTok and Reels, people were doing New Comic Book Day and showing their covers and showing the books they were reading. But a lot of times they lacked telling me who the artist was.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of led me to be nobody's doing this. So I feel like maybe I should, just because of pure interest, and it kind of spiraled out into this thing, that I enjoy doing so much. So, yeah.
Okay. So what does the process of you going from, I have this idea, to finding the bravery to make it a thing?
Man, that's a really good question. So for anybody listening, they may not know this about me, but I was a musician for a little while.
Oh, nice. Omar's a musician too. He's a bass player.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call myself a musician, more of a lyricist.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved hip hop, and I thought in the back of my head, this is the thing that I was going to do, that I was going to be a rapper. And I did music videos, and I produced with my friends, and did it for about 5 to 6 years, seriously. And it just never took me to the heights that I guess I expected or wanted. And so I guess to answer your question, the bravery came from years of not getting to where I wanted to, doing something that I loved. And so for that, there, I was like, well, comics, that's a space that includes every type of person. And, typically most people are accepted for who they are in that space. And so I found it relatively easy to feel, I guess, brave, as you say, which I wouldn't call myself brave, but comfortable to get online and talk in front of a camera. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a moniker?
Moniker, yeah, just my name, actually, just Noah G.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me a minute. I'm
Nice.
like, what does that word mean again? And I had to go through the files there. Yeah, just Noah G was the name I went by.
Can we find you out
Oh
there?
yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, it's
Okay.
up still. So,
Noah G.
Yeah.
So are you on Spotify and stuff like that?
Spotify, yeah, Apple Music, YouTube, all that stuff. So yeah, if you could find it, well, good. It shouldn't be too hard to find, but good luck. Yeah, and I hope you like it. Hope you like it.
I know.
Oh, of course.
Good
I mean,
luck.
the roots I came from, like I grew up with classic hip hop, so that was kind of
Right.
the trajectory I took. So I do take pride in the fact that it's not BS type. It's very much has a lot of substance. It's similar to my content today.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
You got anything, Omar?
Yeah, man. I'm curious about the comic that you're making. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. Is it Aeon Genesis?
Oh yeah, it's Ion Genesis. So that's
Ion Genesis. Okay.
Yeah. Ion is a character that I created that I haven't really spoke much on because I spend so much time talking about others' works, and I'm also just kind of building my portfolio before I really get that out there into the world. But that was something
curious, man.
planned
I was
on
curious about
pitching a lot earlier. So
your
but
creative process on that, because
Yeah.
especially now that you mentioned that you were a rapper, and I'm curious to know, man, like you're doing all of these profiles on other creators, and that has to. I'm wondering, does that influence what you're doing in terms of your own creation? And even when you were a rapper, did you find that? Because this is where I'm getting this from. If you rap, there's somebody had to influence you, and you may find that your bars start to sound like somebody else's, and you have to almost pivot from that. Do you find that was that ever a challenge? Do you find that challenging now as you create, that you're influenced by, because you cover everybody? So do you find that has any influence, or you're like, nope, this is my voice, this is me. There might be some touches here or there, but this is very uniquely mine. I'm just curious.
see if I can find a way to answer this accurately, but I would actually say comics has changed my perception of hip hop, because I see this giant web of, creators in comics that some of their influences will trace back to one place, and in terms of that, like Jack Kirby or Alex Toth, a lot of these guys, their way they were working was innovating how comics were composed. So in my mind, I'm like, nobody would have told a story this way had it not been for X, Y, and Z. So I think in terms of, does it deter me, or, am I trying to be too much like this person? I think that I've kind of let go of that because I know where everything originates from. But when it comes to writing, yeah, I definitely try to not be, Frank Miller or, I love Jeff Johns. There's a lot of writers. Jeff Loeb, even, he gets really emotional, and I'm like, how can I not borrow those things? But in terms of art, I mean, I think that I can, I think there's just so much to choose from that it's kind of impossible to be like, oh, it's too much like X, Y, and Z.
2 questions, Noah. First, what kind of things do you look for in independent comics when you're just sort of out there on the hunt? And 2, what advice would you give to aspiring artists who want to either get their work more visible out there? I butchered that whole statement. Get their work out there more in front of people, and maybe finding an agent, that kind of thing.
That's a great question. I think I'm never looking for something. I think when something speaks to me, that I just go with that. If it's really cool, it's really dope, then I'm just going to naturally enjoy it. I do think the hustle and grind of, you're an independent creator starting off, I think finding your voice is like super important. And I know it's easier said than done, but someone will send me a comic, for instance, like Raymar Brunson. When I discovered Raymar, or I should say when Raymar discovered me, because it was very early on, he had this character, Ghostman, and he had this style that was very reminiscent of Alex Toth, just heavy blacks and character expressions were just perfect. And it was just really what I loved. So I think when you have an original idea, an original voice, and then you have something that people can relate to or remember, I like this because I also enjoy this. I think that's also important. So relatability, I guess, is the biggest thing for any upcoming artist, whether you have an agent or a publisher or not,
All right. So next question. What do you think is a common thread between the many artists that you've covered? What would you find that made them, or better yet, interested you so much that you were like, okay, I have to speak to this?
I guess it should be just how different everybody is and how everybody has their own way. With Spider-Man, we were talking about Spider-Man, how many different ways that you can do Spidey, you can make him super muscular and detailed like Alex Ross, or somebody like Darwin Cook. He had like a 30-page Spider-Man story. It's like a cartoon, like for, right. Spider-Man like for kids or something like that. So I think just how many different voices there are, and same with hip hop, how many different stories there are to tell, If you're somebody like Jeff Loeb, I don't know his personal story, but from reading his work like Spider-Man Blue or Captain America White, it's like, what has he experienced that allows him to tap in to this emotional side, And I think that's what interests me ultimately, just what right. story are you trying to tell through these pages, and you can pick up on that from as many times as Superman has been done. You look at Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, and it's like, okay, nobody's ever really told it from this wide scope perspective of all of Superman's history into this story about just being okay with who you are, like just little things like that, and I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, because, I think it was pretty interesting, the response that the Amazing Spider-Man 1000 cover got that John Romita Jr. did. Now, I'll freely admit, I don't think it was his best work, but I thought it was like, for John Romita Jr., where he's at in his career right now, where Amazing Spider-Man is at issue 1000, I don't think that there was anyone better than him to be chosen for that cover. But yet people just didn't respond in a positive light. And I thought it was pretty interesting that I saw that you were one of the people who was pushing back against that, saying, no, he deserves to have that cover. Like, you can find a lot of guys who should be doing that cover, but no, when it really comes down to it, someone like a John Romita Jr., who not only has this history with the character of Spider-Man, but his father probably has the definitive take on Spider-Man. Like, I was just happy to see that you were standing on that. You were standing on business for that. Personally.
Yeah, I most of the time will always stand with the artist unless it's some like ridiculous, like, oh my gosh, they're just, in doing incentive covers and, just because they want to make money. But when you look at somebody like John Romita Jr., and I had the pleasure of meeting him at Heroes Con.
Nice.
And, he spoke to me and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I love your work. Lots of people love your work. And he's like, oh no, a lot of people hate my work. And I'm like, oh, to hear that just kind of irked me inside because of how many people have grown up with his Spider-Man and his father's Spider-Man as well. And on social media, it's such a dangerous place because people will stick to a controversy without knowing who's behind it. And they're really quick to throw stones without comprehending what it is they're even looking at, And not to say you need to be like, I'm a comic connoisseur and I know, but to just show the lack of respect, I think, without having any prior knowledge, is just.
I did. No, and
Get
I appreciate
behind me, John
seeing
Romita.
that. I'll protect you. Get behind me, JR.
Yeah, I know I'm good with y'all, so.
All right, next question. Out of all the research that you've done, which artist surprised you the most?
That's a great question. I think maybe John Byrne, because of how many people dislike him, but how prolific he is. I think definitely just researching his career and then hearing all the bad things about him, I'm like, oh man, this guy was a hothead, you know? I don't know. I think it really depends. Anytime somebody comes from animation, I always find that intriguing. Or if they, passed away young and just not reaching their full potential, or they were so great, like Carlos Meglia is a great example. Like,
Dude.
Yeah.
if he would have lived 20 more, 30 more, you know what I mean? Like he would have gone to places we probably would have never, we just won't see, And
We'd get a 4K Cyber 6 Blu-ray.
so just exploring, I think it just really depends, because there's things even about like the Garfield artists that surprise me, and I'm like, oh,
I can't lie, I was shocked when you did that.
yeah, I try to cover everything, and if I like something too, I've always loved Garfield, so I was like, let me get into this guy's career, but knowing he had a whole failed strip that he thought was going to work, for 3 years, it's like that does interest me,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put you on to a couple artists. I don't know if you know them, but I would love to see you touch upon them someday. Do you know about Mike Parobeck?
No.
Oh, wow. Mike Parobeck was the artist on the Batman Adventures when they were being part-time written by Paul Dini, but mainly by Kelly Puckett.
Kind of like these, right? Like these kind of, when they were doing
Yes.
some of these.
Back when, he was drawing it as Batman, the animated series, was like still in production. So he was just doing like knock it out of the park artwork. And unfortunately, he passed away at a very early age due to diabetes. But he left a lot of like incredible art behind. Same with another artist that I don't know if you know about, Mike Wieringo.
No.
Yeah. He's incredible. Had a nice Fantastic Four run with Mark Waid. It was probably maybe the most definitive Fantastic Four run past John Byrne's run.
That's saying a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And he unfortunately passed away very young too, in his 40s. So, maybe
I'm
not telling you what to do.
No, I always suggestions, and I'm always writing names down. So
yeah.
And you'll find when you do your research on Mike Wieringo, his Spider-Man is one of the more definitive takes on the character. I think I would say Mike Wieringo is more of an artist version of Spider-Man. Like there are subtle things to the lines that he puts down for Spider-Man's motion that wouldn't necessarily pop out to and I don't mean this to sound negative, a casual reader. Like Mike Wieringo does stuff where it's like, if you know ball, you're like, this is the best that it has ever been done. People need to come back to this. Do this. Yeah. But in your own way.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I'm surprised I haven't heard of from all the Spider-Man artwork I've
you know SPX, correct? Like
Small Press
the small, right?
No, I'm not sure either. No.
Oh, really? Yeah, the Small Press Expo. It's here in Maryland every September.
Okay.
Devon, it's the biggest independent show in America, right?
Well, yeah, in America. Yeah, I was going to say TCAF is the biggest independent show.
That's North America.
Right. Yeah, but
where all the water comes from.
Yeah. But quiet as kept. I'm actually Small Press Expo's like social media director.
Oh, sweet.
All the dad jokes and stuff that you see on there, that's all me. But yeah, going back to Mike Wieringo, I think that you'd really like his artwork because Wieringo, his backgrounds were just like beautiful. And he showed, especially like places with like New York. His New York looked like New York. So it was like, if the Fantastic Four were taking a stroll down a street, there were different people of different ethnicities, different heights. You could just look at like the faces of the people, and they were all doing something different. They weren't just background characters. It felt like they had individual lives going on within that single panel, and that's absolutely why I love Mike Wieringo. So again, no pressure.
No, definitely up there now. It's in the file cabinet.
All right.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up Mike Zeck. I think he's one of my top Spider-Man artists. I think just His Last Hunt alone, and then all his Punisher, anything he did with Punisher was just incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I really missed that type of vibe from Spider-Man. And Romita does a little bit with the, the rain and the, he's in pain, like capturing his pain. I think that Romita does that really well, but Zach is up there for me too.
Yeah. Zach, it's like if he ever wants to come back to comics, I don't think anybody would complain.
I think he lives in another country now.
Yeah, Philippines now.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, from what I understand, he's semi-retired. He does some illustration work every once in a while, but it's not even in the style that we would recognize, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. So anybody got anything else? I got some other stuff I could ask.
I'm just curious. Oh, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Let's pause the comic talk.
Okay.
What kind of animation inspires you in your work? Because I may be wrong, but I get a Watch Toonami vibe from you. Am I mistaken?
I think you'd be just slightly mistaken.
Damn!
That's more my brother. I don't know what it is. My little brother, his name's Carter, he was all into the Toonami, into the anime, into that kind of stuff. And I just leaned into, and he likes everything, but that was definitely more his thing. But I grew up Family Guy, SpongeBob, very simple style animations. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, like not the 3D one, the
Genndy Tartakovsky.
Thank you, because I was going to screw up his name there. But yeah, I just loved simple, flat stuff. I think that's why I love Darwin Cook so much. Like, something about that language just reaches out to me. So you would be incorrect, but I do find myself now kind of getting into anime and, things that come from across the pond as well.
Devon.
No.
Omar.
Yeah, just had one. Like, I was curious, is there a character that has never been live action that you wish would be made into live action?
For a long time, it was John Stewart, but now we're getting John Stewart, which is great.
Right.
I think that's kind of hard to say because most of them have been done. I think I'd rather see more stories adapted than characters, but let me think off the top of my head, characters that haven't been done in live action. We haven't seen Agent Venom. I know that is Eddie Brock. We've seen Eddie Brock. But Agent Venom is just such a badass design.
It really is.
That's a cool thing. I'd love to, like a Jason Statham kind of movie, but with Agent
Wait,
I think that would go crazy.
Was it Eddie Brock or was it Flash Thompson?
That was Flash Thompson.
You're right. It is Flash
Thompson.
Yeah.
And you do the war vet thing?
That would be really cool. Yeah. I'm sure there's a few. I'm kind of blanking right now, but
No, it's all good.
No, but
all good.
now I want an Agent Venom.
more.
Yeah, I really want an Agent Venom movie now.
Yeah, that would be cool, I think.
Yeah. So let me see. If you could stand over one artist's shoulder while they're creating, who would it be?
Living or dead?
Anyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably Alex Toth or Jack Kirby or Wallace Wood. Definitely some of them. I think Alex Ross, I would love to just watch him go at it. There's so many. Frank Quietly, like his line work is just out of this world. I can keep going on and on and on. Yeah, Darwin Cook, Tim Sale.
Oh,
those guys. Yeah. I got to look at an original Darwin piece and I was like, I just couldn't get over it. I was like literally giddy like a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Kirby, some of the greats, Jack Kirby for sure. Maybe like an Al Williamson or
Al Williamson, dude.
Oh, so good.
So many. I mean, there's so many. John Byrne, I would definitely like. I would like to see John Byrne working on Wonder Woman or
really
like just being there at that. I have my Wonder Woman John Byrne book just sitting up there. I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful cover. But yeah, there's so many.
I'm just kind of surprised because most people would say X-Men or maybe even Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm a Wonder Woman fanatic. Like, I love everything Wonder Woman.
Same.
I really love Hayden Sherman and Kelly Thompson's absolute Wonder Woman. I like it more than
so
Batman.
good.
Like, I'm maybe a minority, but I think the story is way more emotional and intriguing in terms of Diana's history. And I think it just connects really well and hits all those beats for me. And that's kind of why I went back to John Byrne's Wonder Woman, because I'm like, this is the original absolute Wonder Woman. Like, she gets really rough and like she's going through some shit, and it's, excuse my language, but
you cuss.
It's just great.
Yeah,
okay,
you can cuss here.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you're in the cuss safe zone.
Okay, cool.
Adult time.
But yeah,
Damn it.
I've never been too much into Fantastic Four, really, that or X-Men that much either.
Really?
Not my top picks, but I do appreciate all that has been done with the X-Men. I think recently Simone DeMeo and Jeff Loeb, they did Age of Apocalypse, and I'm like totally digging that, Bangus, Capcom style vibe to these characters. That's what I remember the most from being a kid.
Nice. Anybody got anything else? All right. Well, let's get a couple more.
All right.
What artists what current artists do you think embody the spirit of the greats, such as like an Alex Toth or a Steve Ditko? Like, who are you really liking right now?
So her work hasn't been around as much, and I think it has something to do with the publishers, but her name's Elsa Charretier, and she does The City Beneath Her Feet for Distillery. And she kind of falls in line with that Alex Toth, Darwin Cook, Bruce Timm kind of style. And so it's very rare for me to find somebody that works that way. Raymar kind of works that way too, but she's definitely like a modern artist. And I recommend her YouTube because she does breakdowns of Mignola pages and tons of other great comic book artists. So she's very insightful, but she's one that sticks out to me right now, definitely.
Okay. Now I'm trying to think of like who. Have you ever seen? Unfortunately, he's passed away. Have you ever seen Carlos Pacheco's artwork?
I have, not overly familiar, but that name I've seen a bunch, throughout my researching. So I'm sure I've seen his artwork, but that name I hear frequently.
Yeah, he's got a pretty big impact across the board. Like he did Avengers Forever, and what else did he do? Chris, help me out.
Oh,
Aerosmith,
goodness.
that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. JLA, JSA, that's another good one.
Like, we're talking late 90s is like his heyday.
Yeah.
Like late 90s into early 2000s. He was one of the principal artists, sort of like, not principal, like featured artists in Heroes Return. When, they did the whole Heroes Born thing, and then, like Onslaught exploded or whatever, and we're bringing them back. Yay! And like, no, Carlos Pacheco was right there doing, pretty sure he was Avengers, right?
Yeah. He was on Avengers. Oh, no. He also did Fantastic Four. He's another one who did an FF run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll have to spend some more time with his work then. I'm sure if I look at it, I'd be like, oh, that's who that is. But
okay.
Yeah. I was thinking another person I think is also kind of honing in on what the greats have done in terms of manga would be Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm not like the biggest fanboy of his artwork or anything, but it's purely comics. Like everything he does just feels like a classic manga or like a classic, I think more 90s because everything's so extreme. But even I got to speak with Kari Andrews, and I don't know if you're familiar with Kari.
Oh, yeah.
Tapping in. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I just got to talk with him yesterday, and he's really diving into that 90s extreme that I like. So I think what's cool about Daniel Warren Johnson is he's taking aspects of manga that have always been popular and then the extreme parts of comics. And it just feels so comic book. And I do enjoy it for that reason.
Yeah. His stuff just kind of reminds me of like Kirby, like on the New Gods, where it was just like stuff going on in the background. And you're just like, why would anybody draw all this stuff? But it's like some artists just need to get that out of their systems. And I feel like Daniel Warren Johnson is one of those guys.
Yeah.
So my next question,
I don't know what the word is. It's very like, it feels emotional. There's just so much on that page, and it just feels every line feels intentional, every expression. It's great.
Yeah. And then next question, what's exciting you about comics right now in this very moment?
In this very moment, I think just being able to pick up the next book I have next to me, or, I still haven't gotten to this yet. I think cover art always pulls me in. So if I see a cover that really, grabs my attention, that excites me. I still get this simple pleasure of discovery, and finding something that I don't know or haven't heard. And YouTube's a great tool for that. I hear a lot of listen to different interviews, love them or hate them. Rob Liefeld has some very crazy stories that I'm like, I would have never known that had I not listened to this episode. But yeah, just the history of comics and even some of the controversy. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy that this happened, and you just have no idea from the other end, But so many things about comics excite me.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Does anybody have anything else?
Well, I was thinking there's a young, hip, happening artist that you could tune your feelers to. He definitely blends Afrofuturism and mecha anime and rock music in a really, really nice, organic. I'm talking about myself.
I was waiting for it. I was like,
Send it through.
I wonder where that one's going. Yeah.
I'm like, is he about to tell me to look up Sanford Green? Because I'm like, I already know who that is.
Look, I love myself. I'm not Sanford Green. Maybe I'll be Sanford Green when I grow up. Maybe. But I'm not Sanford Green. But yeah, 2-Ton Rock God, I will send you a link. Check it out.
Please send it my way. I'll be there for that.
No BS. Chris is honestly
he's nice.
One of the best creators, cartoonists out there right now. And we're pretty happy to have him with us. Because right now, you are literally sitting within 70 years of friendship combined. And Chris, like, I can't lie about it. I'm honestly proud of him because he is on track and he is just absolutely doing some of the best work I've seen in the Afrofuturism space. So
amazing.
Make sure that you send him a link.
I was doing like a funny shameless plug, and you.
No, see, now we put you on. Yeah. Now we pepper you with compliments.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Kryptonite,
man.
Nice.
Well, damn. I'm gonna turn my camera off while I cry.
Well, no, we're gonna go ahead and let you go because I know that you're on. You have other things that you need to be doing, but we really appreciate your being here.
Man.
Absolutely.
And let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me mainly on Instagram, Noah Goins Comics. It's the same for TikTok and the same for YouTube. So all the same across different platforms. And then my YouTube, I do interviews. So just like I got to chat with you guys, I talk to different creators all the time, and it's just a nice way to unwind, or you're on your way to work. It's a great way to get some insight from some of your favorite artists, some of my favorite artists. So,
all right.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yes, sir.
Don't let this be the last time you're on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, please invite me back. You guys were everything was super comfortable. It was easy to talk to you guys. It's incredible. So I appreciate you all so much.
Well, we appreciate you. All right.
All right, man.
All right.
Everyone value it. This evening or this morning, whenever you so happen to find our beautiful Black podcast, we have had an informative, introspective Christian evening of good merriment.
Devon, we tried. We got company. We were on our best behavior.
No, we tried.
And now no one knows the truth.
On that note, thanks again, Noah.
Absolutely. Much love. Such a pleasure.
Thank
you.
This
y'all.
has been the Top Guys Podcast.
Take care. Right. What you've just heard has been but a brief sampling of the outstanding awesomeness that is the Top Guys Podcast. If you would be so kind, on your way out the door, leave us a like, a thumbs up, a nice comment. give us a 5-star rating on whatever Yelp service you use to listen to your podcast, and give us a high five, and also subscribe.